Feminism is why women get beaten up in marriage, Pete Edochie. Veteran Nollywood actor Pete Edochie has said feminism should be held responsible for the domestic violence women suffer in marriage. Wow. The actor told BBC Igbo that modern women lack a basic skill like cooking to help keep their husbands happy, adding that women are usually to blame for cases of domestic violence. Wow. He noted that any woman who cannot cook has lost the right to refer to herself as a woman. He said feminism isn't something Black people are known for. Once a woman leaves her parents to meet her husband and takes his surname, she is to be submissive to him. If she wasn't married, she can do whatever she wants. Women walk and show off their behinds. It's so that men would find them. If you see such a woman and express your marriage interest, then she starts walking properly. Our women now plunge into feminism nowadays. In his words, he says, they can't even keep their husbands anymore. Is that a good thing? These women are schooled, but a lot of wives now can't cook. One thing that a woman should be good in as to be able to keep her husband. My mother was not educated, but she would cook all sorts of soups, including bitter leaf, oha, ogbono, okra, egusi, uka, and what have you. My father would also always get back home hurriedly to eat what his wife had cooked. Today, our wives can't even cook anymore. Women who can't cook aren't supposed to call themselves women, and feminism is what causes women to be beaten up in marriages. You complain to a woman and she retorts. It becomes unbearable, so you stretch your arm and deal her a slap. Domestic violence starts. I don't like seeing women crying because it hurts me deeply, but if it is the fault of the woman herself, a lot of times. According to Edochie, feminism has no place in Nigeria's culture. He continued, to be honest, the understanding of women is low. I'm not a misogynist. Well, you really sound like one. But I've associated with them a lot, even at work. Feminism has no place in our culture. We don't worship women as the whites do. In the West, women could join forces and accuse a male colleague of assault. The man resigns. This can't happen in our culture because women are not respected. As a young woman, if pedestrians don't admire you, you'd weep for fear of not being beautiful. And it should not be the case. I'm a strong adherent of culture. Kneeling to put a ring on a woman's hands is not our culture. Any man who does that transfers the headship of his family to that woman. Until my dad died at 96, he never knelt to propose. Well, if you were born before the marriage or proposal, would you have seen that? It's just like kneeling down on entering a church because there's a higher being to whom you're paying respect. Men climb trees to tap palm wine. How does it look if women do the same? Today, women dictate to men. It wasn't like that nowadays. How women talk to men nowadays isn't how we were raised. My mother was never beaten. My wife and I have been married for 52 years. I never beat her. My 5 married sons don't beat their wives. Well, you have to understand that there is absolutely no excuse and no reason for domestic violence, first of all, because you should not raise your hand at somebody. If you're doing that, it shows that you cannot communicate. That's it. You're not a child. Use your words. Be it in Igbo, be it in Yoruba, you should not beat anybody, and women should not beat men as well. Why are you hitting somebody? Why would you feel like you need to do that, first of all? The case is actually because women, I would say that if you provoke somebody, if you're provoking somebody to hit you, obviously that is wrong. And when it comes to that, women can be emotionally abusive. But the fact is, yes, we can acknowledge that, yes, there are some women who take advantage of the societal norm that, he cannot beat me, and therefore I can provoke him or say certain things to sort of basically poke at him for him to do that. But at the end of the day, you should not provoke anybody and you should not hit anybody, point blank, period. And feminism, let me just actually give a proper definition, because I feel like at the end of the day, with the societal context of how women are treated in Nigeria, it is absolutely barbaric, in my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with feminism. I believe feminism is about choice, and that is it. A woman can live the way she wants to. she's a grown adult. So it's like, for you to bring societal norms to somebody and tell them do this because of your gender, like, that doesn't make sense. And in Nigeria's culture, that is prevalent. So feminism basically means it's about changing the way that people see male and female rights, mainly female, and campaigning for equal ones. So basically, feminism is basically about equality, and why you'd call it feminism is because the aim is towards women for the lifting up to get it equal. That's what it is. And yes, we can agree that yes, there are some extreme feminists where it gets to a point where your points are basically illogical, and sometimes it can come off as, just violence to and generalization towards men. And yes, we understand that is very extreme, and it's left to you to you should not be extreme and you should not be rude or blame a whole set of beings on why you think certain things. But the fact is that yes, we can agree that they are extreme feminists, but feminism itself is not why women get beaten up in marriages. So what you're basically trying to say is that women, because how? No, the fact is, it's victim blaming. Absolutely. Like, if you are beating somebody up, take the blame. You are the person who inflicted that pain, so you take the blame. And it just seems as though like you're trying to absolve, abusers and violent men from the fact that they hit their wives or their girlfriends or whatever. You should not hit anybody. And to be honest, let's understand, I don't even get pressed about this topic, especially when this man is speaking. Not gonna lie. I mean, all props, all everything to him, because he's a veteran, he's like a very well-respected actor in the country. But the fact is, there's certain things that we don't agree with, and the world is changing. And unfortunately, the fact is, right now, where the world is, his views are not accommodated by the world. Not saying that, it's right in every circumstance, but here it is very, very clear that he's very into gender roles. If it works for you, it works for you, as long as you're happy and it is with your consent. Absolutely fine. But then saying that feminism is the reason why women get beaten up, no. What he's scared of, which I think is the whole thing, is because women are now very vocal, and these women are adults here, so they can voice. They're now getting, emboldened to voice their opinions if they don't like something. Not saying they're always right, but again, he's saying, oh, in the Western world, women are worshipped. No, women are more respected. That is just the fact. And the fact is, because Nigeria is such a patriarchal society where men are not held responsible for cases like this, how would women get respected? From a young age, these norms are preached. And the fact is, we are all grown adults here, okay? The fact is, if you cannot communicate and you resort to violence and beating up a woman, or just beating up anybody in general, you need to go and fix yourself, because you are a grown human. You're an adult, not a child. Even children are not even allowed to do that. So it's like, doesn't make sense. And this whole thing on cooking and all that, and how, and this is why women get aggravated. Who are you to set the standard of what a woman is? Like, excuse me, grown women are out here making their money, living their lives, in their marriages, fixing their homes or whatever, and then you're now saying that if she doesn't cook, she can't call herself a woman. Like, are you actually joking right now? We understand this is how our society has been for a long time, and this is how the society has actually, been running. But the fact is, feminism is about choice, and a woman can make her choice. And domestic violence is not feminism's fault. The rise that's happening is that women, through feminism, are now getting their voice and more confidence, and they can express their roles. But again, in a place like Nigeria, come on now. We are the people. Culture is the way of life of people. So if we as a people want to change certain things, we can change it. That's it. But trying to absolve all blame to the actual criminals or the perpetrators of this crime, blaming it on women and their actions and all that. But the fact is, scientifically proven, a man is stronger than a woman. So, and yes, women should also take responsibility for the fact that some women should take responsibility for the fact that they can aggravate men and poke men. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be emotionally abusive. That's wrong on her part too. It's not a black and white thing. You have to discuss these things and you have to apply it to how it works for you. So yeah, my personal opinion is that when this person, actor, props him for his work and all that, but when he consistently says comments like this and all that, which you can agree, you can disagree, that's absolutely fine, but this is such a huge topic because a lot of women are, in situations where they cannot leave because they're scared of being hit and all that, which we should not be able to promote. And to be honest, our society is evolving and hopefully things will change. But the fact is, it's because of views like this, women in Nigeria are being so disrespected, like as if it's a whole new conversation and we keep going on forever. But to be honest, when this man says things like this, I mean, you can agree, you can disagree, but his kind of views get reactions online. And to be honest, he's done it so consistently. I just personally think that he might be doing it for the reactions. But yeah, it is what it is. Put what you think about this in the comment section below and do not forget to like and subscribe.